What's going on, guys? Daniel Rodriguez here, and welcome to my non-spoiler review for Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Rogue One is directed by Gareth Edwards and stars Felicity Jones, Diego Luna, Mads Mikkelsen, Donnie Yen, Forrest Whitaker, and Ben Mendelsohn, Riz Ahmed, etc., etc., etc. So in this review, I'm going to be giving you guys my pros, cons, and final score, telling you whether or not you should go check out Rogue One in theaters, which the whole world already has. Amazing. Wait for rental, wait for TV/streaming, or maybe just never see this movie at all. Now, before I get on to the pros, I do want to say Episode 4, A New Hope, is my favorite Star Wars of all time. Fight me over it, everyone. The cliches like Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, great films, of course, but A New Hope will always be my favorite Star Wars. In my heart, it'll always come first. Which is good for me because 1977, A New Hope, Rogue One is basically a prequel to my favorite Star Wars film, so you can see how I get a nerdgasm from this. Starting off with the pros, no surprise here, the CGI effects and practical effects are beautiful. I always appreciate the film more when it's more practical effects, less CGI. Now, all the Star Wars films have always had good or great action scenes. But when it comes to Rogue One, in my opinion, this has the best action in the franchise up to date. And not only are the action scenes filmed very well, but the locations and settings that we go in this film are absolutely stunning. Now, we all have seen Rogue One, let's not lie to ourselves. I saw it the Thursday opening night, and I'm barely getting my review out right now, but all I'll say, the steam sealer, and everyone's going to agree because it's true, Darth Vader. Yeah. The first scene when he showed up and he was talking to Director Krennic, when he came out of his cryogenic sleep or whatever, and he walked, it was all shiny like he was coming out of heaven and all that, and when he was threatening Krennic, I literally, like, when he walked away and he was like that, oh, do not do that again. I sound stupid. Anyway, when that, I literally thought, oh, is that all Vader's going to be in the film? Just one scene? And I was like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Whatever. And then he shows up again at the end, and I literally just, I just like throw my money at the screen, which I had no money because I bought the ticket, you know. But I just wanted to just like, wow, Gareth Edwards. So I tip my hat off to you, sir. Darth Vader, out of the cinema history, man, and don't get me wrong, the scenes from New Hope, Empire, and Jedi, don't get me wrong, and Sith, and don't get me wrong, but this was the best Darth Vader scene I've seen in the Star Wars, well, besides him fighting Luke in Empire Strikes Back. But other than that, this is my favorite Darth Vader scene. Every scene that he's in Rogue One, the 2 scenes or 3 scenes that he's in, are the best way to use Darth Vader. And the ending of the film, the last 3 minutes right there, man, Gareth Edwards, I tip my hat to you. Like I said, A New Hope is my favorite Star Wars film, man. Will always be number 1 in my heart. And when we're only minutes away from the opening of A New Hope at the end of Rogue One, yeah, I couldn't contain my excitement in the theater. I was a fangirl. Or fanboy. Whichever one you want to, I don't care. Now, we did get a few cameos in this film. Some were not necessary. They felt forced in a way where I was like, wasn't needed. Kind of felt like Disney was just like, Gareth, put him in there now, and like it's just like, no, it's not going to be good for the film. The fans are going to like it, but not really. And like Disney just forced them in there in the cameos, so they did them. I was like, okay, I noticed them. I noticed a lot of Easter eggs in there too. But no, much love to the cameos in here. Some were not necessary, and a few were. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Peter Cushing passed away in the 90s. He was in the original Star Wars, Grand Moff Tarkin. Shout out, man, to the Grand Moff Tarkin, the greatest of all time. He was in here. They recreated him, CGI'd his face on another actor. They put the dots on him. It was another known actor, I believe, in the UK. And they brought him in, and they ended up putting the CGI and manipulating the audio and stuff like that, and all that good stuff. a lot of people are kind of like his CGI was noticeable, and yeah, it was. But it wasn't like, it didn't take me out of the film. I'm like, there's CGI everywhere, and while they're good CGI, you gotta remember, it's just a film. It's not in real life, you know. It's green screens and stuff and all this. So it's fine. Honestly, Grand Moff Tarkin being in the film is a pro. It's not like, well, they shouldn't have put him in the film. Why did they do that? They should have just had him in one scene. I didn't expect him to be like in 10 minutes worth of screen time, but it's not a bad thing. It's cool to have, you know, I'm pretty, Peter Cushing would get a kick out of it. He'd be like, oh, that's cool, man. Like, if he saw the technology today and saw that they recreated him, it's not like they're gonna ever do it again. I think it's just a one-time thing for Rogue One. Other than that, I don't think they're gonna ever do it again for Peter Cushing. I say awesome. Now, after I got out of Rogue One, I was going through Facebook, and a lot of people were like, the music was boring, the music was stupid, the music was this, the music was ew. I like the music. Now, it's not scored by John Williams, but why do people hate the music? The music was great in here. It was. I'm not like, I was noticing the music in every single scene, which you do in every Star Wars. Of course, you notice the music and, you know, you notice the music, and it makes the scene more impactful, and that's what it did for me. I enjoyed the music. I don't know why everyone else is hating on the music, and people will say, it's not John Williams. All right. So, it's still great music in the film. Now, I absolutely love the humor that they brought into Rogue One, thanks to the amazing, unstoppable, unpredictable Alan Tudyk as KS2O or K2SO. It's one of those. He's basically the CGI robot in here, man. Tall as hell, and he ends up speaking his mind, man. Like, oh, I'm so sorry. The captain made me apologize to you. We're like, we have a 25% chance that we're going to make it or we're going to die. Like, he just ends up speaking his mind, and he is one of the best things about this film. Like, this film is already great as it is, with the action, the music, the cinematography, the effects, the characters. We'll talk about that in a minute. But no, Alan Tudyk did a fantastic job in here, man. Much praise to him, dude. And I love the lines that they gave him. I don't know if some were improvised. I don't know if some were not, but much love to that. And it's a toy seller for sure. I know I got to get a figure of him somehow, but Alan Tudyk is one of the greatest things about Rogue One. Donnie Yen. I am one with the Force, and the Force is one with me. Or, I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. Donnie Yen. Ah, yes. He plays like a blind guy who's Force sensitive. I believe his name's Bazi. No, his name's not Bazi. Chewit. See, I couldn't really understand. I couldn't really remember his name, but I know, you know, I'm not really familiar with Donnie Yen. I know his other stuff, like IP Man. Never seen it, but I know he's in there. I know he's a badass. So, but actually having Donnie Yen in here, he was a really likable character. He was really cool. Pretty much other than that, some of the action scenes that he does is awesome. Mads Mikkelsen plays Jyn Erso's father. I believe it's Galen Erso. He is the one who created the Death Star plans and made the Death Star. First off, I love Mads Mikkelsen. I don't know if you can see the poster right here. You probably can't, but it's Hannibal. I have a Hannibal poster right there. He was in Doctor Strange, which I feared the worst, and it was true. He was misused in Doctor Strange, and that's the thing, the Marvel villain problem and all that. Yes, he was misused in Doctor Strange. He was interesting in Doctor Strange, but he should have been used better and more into the film than what he was put into. Because he's a talented actor, you don't just get someone like Mads Mikkelsen and then waste him like that. But in here, I thought he was great. I loved all the scenes he was in. The opening was slow. We'll get into that in a minute there. But Mads Mikkelsen, for sure, the scenes that he was in, I did enjoy him. I liked him better in this film than how he was in Doctor Strange. Felicity Jones as Jyn Erso. Now, I reviewed Inferno about a month ago, the one with Tom Hanks and Felicity Jones. That's another movie she stars in. And, you know, she's not a really good actress. She's okay. She's honestly okay. I've never seen her be great or any amazing or anything like that. I think she's beautiful. She's definitely drop dead gorgeous. And Jyn Erso, the one thing she is she is a badass in this film. Now, as a character, I think she was... I've only seen the film one time. I probably got to see it a few more times, but with my first viewing, she's okay. She's okay as a character herself. She's a badass in the action scenes. But as a full character to base the movie around, really, it's kind of like, I get it, but it was a slow opening and getting to know her character and this and that, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, she's still a badass character, and I like where they took her with the chemistry. Well, not really the chemistry, but I like where they took her with Diego Luna's character, Cassian. And last but not least, on the pros, the old costumes, the old attire, what they used to wear. Because when you think about it, again, this is a prequel to A New Hope, so it's like a classic in the old times to us, like 1977, like back in A New Hope era, that era, but in a modern day setting. Not like the setting of the film, but you get it, like it's filmed in the modern day with modern technology, but it's like pre-1977 basically, as in prequel to A New Hope. So it's crazy how we imagine A New Hope filmed, but in modern technology, HD camera. Imagine that, basically, like a remastered version in today's technology. So think about like if Rogue One came out before A New Hope. Yeah, like imagine that, how it would have looked in the 70s compared to now. So with this, I love the attire, I love the costume, the rebellion look, the old helmets they had, the X-Wings, the Empire look, and some of the stupid helmets as well. So I appreciated that, man. The love and the Death Star looking beautiful off in the distance and crazy looking. Now going on to the cons, yes, indeed, it was a slow opening. I don't care what anyone says, it was a slow opening. That first 8 minutes, 7 minutes or whatever, and then all of a sudden Forrest Whitaker, a child, come out here. Yeah. I totally forgot to mention about Forrest Whitaker. He was, honest. I like it. I was just confused about his character, and yes, I know Star Wars Rebels and everything, but Saw Gerrera and the history and the Clone Wars and stuff. But I'm saying, like, it was confusing. I love Forrest Whitaker. Any movie he's in, I'm down, man. I'm down with him. But save the dream. Save it all, so just like the way he's obviously gone mad, he's gone cuckoo, but he was confusing because he's only in the film for like minutes, so yeah, he was very confusing. But then again, it's Forrest Whitaker, and I'm like, you get a pass, you're Forrest Whitaker, dude, Fast Times. But yeah, going back to the opening, it wasn't a bad, like, I'm not going to skip over it if I watch Rogue One again, you know what I mean? It was just, the opening was like, come on, you're Suicide Squatting it. Let's go to this character, what they're up to, let's go to that character, let's introduce this character, like, you know what I mean? It's just like, just go. And going to the characters, I never was really emotionally connected to any of them, not to Jyn Erso, Cassian, Basil, whatever his name was. I really was never emotionally connected to them. Like I like a lot of them. I like them. I thought they were badass, but not enough where I really would shed a tear for them, or like I really wasn't emotionally. I didn't get to know them as much. Now, as much as I thought Ben Mendelsohn was badass in this film, and I like him as an actor, I did feel that he was a little wasted in here, especially towards the end of the film. Just look at what happens to his character and think like, oh, like Krennic just, like that's the way they do it, like that's the end of this and that. I felt like he should have had a bigger presence. Like, he's in the film from beginning and then a little bit in the middle, but I don't know, I just felt like I wanted to see more Krennic somehow. I needed a little bit more of him doing some more badass things than just being the guy. Like, he had an awesome, majestic robe. I know they had a few deleted scenes where he's not walking through the water. I'm kind of disappointed in that. I wanted to see more Ben Mendelsohn. I think that's the excuse there. And he was not wasted throughout the whole film, but they could have used more of Krennic. Like I said a few moments ago, I wasn't really emotionally connected to most of the characters because I felt some of the characters had a few issues. Yes, they're enjoyable. Yes, you like them. Yes, they're badass. I still felt like they had issues. We didn't get enough time with this character. Or Riz Ahmed's character. It's kind of like, okay, well, he just went through that with his brain. Is he still, like, does that mean he was brainwashed? Is he okay? Are you good? Are you still the guy you were last week? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, like, there's a lot of little character issues going on. And people make the thing, like I said about Hacksaw Ridge, but many people are like, it's a war film. You don't get to know the people next to you when you're going in a war. Yes, but still, you know, if I'm going to buy pop figures of them, I want to know just a little bit more about them. Yes, there's a few problems to this film. It's not a perfect 10 out of 10, but it's damn near close. It's still a great, entertaining Star Wars film. It's one of my favorite Star Wars films of all time. It goes on to second place. First, A New Hope, then Rogue One, then Empire Strikes Back, then Force Awakens, then Return of the Jedi, and then so forth and so forth. Probably Revenge of the Sith after that, and then we'll forget about the other two. But other than that, man, this is my second favorite Star Wars film of all time. I love the action. And again, I do like the characters. I still think they had a little issues and this and that, but maybe if I rewatch it a second time, rewatch it a third time, then it's not a huge problem. It doesn't ruin the experience. The action was great. The settings were great. The directing, Gareth Edwards did a freaking fantastic job. So everything was cool, man. Darth Vader, the ending. There's nothing really, to worry about the future of Star Wars. I think it's all in great hands. Rian Johnson, I believe, is up next for Episode 8. So I'm down. I like Star Wars every year. So far, Force Awakens was really good, great at times. Rogue One, even better. I really enjoyed this more than Force Awakens. And that's not saying Force Awakens was bad. I saw Force Awakens 4 times in theaters, and I've seen Rogue One 1 time. But I like it more than Force Awakens. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to give Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, a 9 out of a 10. Obviously, many of you have already seen it in theaters, and it's something I will pick up on Blu-ray one day. On day 1, most likely. We gotta get it good. I'll be doing a digital HD copy for it. As long as it comes with a digital HD copy, I will be giving it away to you guys. Thanks again for watching. And you can share it with your friends. Comment down below. Tell me what you guys thought about Rogue One. What was your favorite part? What didn't you like about it? Do you agree? Do you disagree? All that goodies. Thanks again. Hit that subscribe button for more awesome movie reviews. I'll be seeing you guys later. 2017. Gonna be a big year. Less than 1 year away till Episode 8. Let's get ready. By the way, I didn't get to mention earlier. I totally forgot. Rest in peace, Carrie Fisher and Debbie Reynolds. The Force is I like to say it, but the Force is with you, and it sucks. It sucks. It's a bad and right around the holiday after Christmas. Much love to the family, to Billy Lord and the rest of the gang. Thank you, Carrie, and her mother, Debbie Reynolds. Anyway, much love to the family. Much prayers going your way. Till next time, guys. Bye-bye.